Five asylum seekers who died after an explosion were on board a boat described today as a floating bomb.
Another boat carrying 41 suspected asylum seekers and 4 crew members has been intercepted by the Australian Navy.
Every year, thousands of immigrants risk their lives trying to reach Australia by boat. They pay thousands of dollars to people smugglers with no guarantee they or their families will survive the journey. Hundreds of people have died at sea trying to seek asylum in Australia. Over 3 years, it is estimated that 900 boat people lost their lives, a solemn reminder of just how perilous their journeys are. These refugees risked their lives for a chance at a better life. Refugees like Reza Moosawi, who was 13 years old when he was forced to leave Afghanistan and his family after his brother was killed by the Taliban. His parents, fearful for his safety, paid people smugglers to fly him from Afghanistan to Pakistan. From there, Reza flew to Indonesia using a fake passport and spent 30 days locked in a hotel room alone.
He locked me in a hotel. There's one small room next to the toilet there. I was there for 40 days there. It was no air condition, no fan. It was very hot actually. And I had a very scary dream during the night about my family. I was missing my mom, I was missing my sister. I have been saw the story of my brother. It was a very difficult journey for me actually. But I have no choice. That's why, because of my safety, I left my country.
He then made his journey to Australia by boat.
Our boat was only for 18 people, and it's a very old boat. The smuggler had been putting 125 people. There was no space for us to sit. Everyone just was squeezing like this. So the boat was open. When the rain is coming, everyone was getting wet. And I was very, very sick actually. I never drink, I never eat anything. I was vomiting. I was dehydrated actually. I was praying to God, oh God, take my life. I don't want to be alive anymore, because it was very difficult. Because I never drink, I was sick, my chest was blocked, I can't talk. I was trying to ask help, please help me, but my voice was not coming out. I was so sick. When we came into Australian water, at those time, Mr. John Howard was in power, and he said, no, we're not going to accept you guys, you should go back to your country, you should go back to Afghanistan, you should go back to Indonesia. People was ready to put themselves in the water to die. They said, we never want to go back because of their safety, because of our ethnicity, our religion, our custom. We left our country. We have no democracy, we have no rights. Our rights have been taken out of us.
After he arrived in Australia, Reza was taken to Curtin Detention Centre, where he spent 45 days locked up. Although Reza spent over a month in the Curtin Centre, his experience was relatively short compared to some refugees who spend years in detention. Currently, there are almost 5,000 refugees being held in Australian detention centres. Almost 3/4 are boat people who represent no real threat to Australia's security. Statistics reveal asylum seekers arriving by sea are much more likely to pass security checks and to meet the legal definition of refugee than those who arrive with visas. Boat arrivals make up less than 4% of people who come to Australia seeking asylum. Despite this, their arrivals continue to generate a political and media storm. Over the years, the government has attempted to stop boat people arriving on our shores by taking a harsher approach to illegal immigration.
We will decide who comes to this country and the circumstances in which they come.
The government's view is simple. If someone's claim for asylum is not legitimate, they'll be sent home.
The government is implementing an immediate suspension on the processing of all new applications from asylum seekers from Sri Lanka and Afghanistan.
The government defended the introduction of this policy, saying security in both countries is improving. But have conditions really improved?
I risked my life on a dangerous journey to seek asylum in Australia. I needed protection, but I was locked up in Curtin Detention Centre. I saw things I will never forget. Sewn lips, suicide attempts. There were young families in there. My wife and my baby girl are safe now. But Afghanistan is a dangerous place. for Hazara people like me. Australian soldiers have been killed there. It's just not safe. Kevin Rudd, you say Afghanistan is improving. It's not. Have you seen what I've seen? Please, stop playing politics with our lives.
The government claims that conditions have improved in both Afghanistan and Sri Lanka, and people in those countries have no need to leave. However, there are now even more boats coming to Australia, and illegal immigration has become an even bigger problem for the government. Reza's journey was long and difficult. His life as a refugee was filled with pain, despair, loss and desolation. After all the hardships he endured, Reza has now established a life for himself here in Australia.
2008, I get married. Yeah, when I done the school, then the community, family was settled here. So then I bought a small townhouse for myself. So me and my missus living now together. My mom, my sister, my small brother, they're living next to us, very close by. And I have a small daughter. She's only 1 year old. Her name is Nasreen. So life was very difficult for me when I left country, because my life was not safe in Afghanistan, my family was not safe in Afghanistan. We left our country. Once I came here, it was very difficult for me because it was difficult to adapt new culture, new people. But luckily, I have been added in all, and I have been learning the way of Australian life.
However, Reza was one of the lucky ones. Many boat people are kept in detention for years before being released into the community. Although some families are released from the detention centre, without a visa they are unable to work or study, making them prisoners within the community. Others are denied the right to stay here and are deported to their home country at risk of being persecuted or killed. The government and most politicians lead us to believe that there is no reason for these refugees to come to Australia. They tell us their countries are safe and their claims are not genuine. Why then would these people risk everything, including their lives, to come to our country? The journey never ends.
خودم این سو دلم آن سوی دریا مقام و منزلم آن سوی دریا ز درد دل گرفت تا جوانی تمام حاصلم آن سوی